back here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, NCAA championship action. Division I AA playoff. Wofford leads North Carolina A&T 10-0. Let's go down to Rob Jones.
Hey guys, I'm here with Wofford's president, Dr. Benjamin Dunlap, the 10th president in 150 years of the school. And President Dunlap, pretty exciting right now, leading 10-0 at halftime.
Well, it is exciting. I have to say the A&T band is just phenomenal. That adds a lot to the excitement, but I'm grateful to be up by 10 points at this point.
You guys have a great academic tradition here. 85% of the graduation rate of the student athletes, that's 10th in the country with schools like Stanford, Northwestern, and Duke. You have to be proud of that.
You know, I really am, because athletics play an important part in an all-round education, but to be a scholar athlete means your priorities are straight. The classroom comes first and the playing field comes second. When you win it both, you're really a winner.
You guys are doing it well with the max for the minimum, 1,100 students, but the average SAT score 1241.
Yeah, well, that's a great brand tag for us, that our enrollment is lower than our average SAT score. But the truth is, 1 out of every 5 male students is on the football team.
Now, $14 million Science Center. Talk about that.
The Millikan Science Center is a state-of-the-art facility. It's won all sorts of architectural prizes, and right at the heart of it, there is a grand salon, a reading room that can house a large portion of the student body with all the latest technology. So it's the true intellectual crossroads of the campus. And there's a Starbucks cafe right in the middle of it.
That always helps. 1,100 students, getting back to that, the smallest Division 1A, 1-2A school, and you guys are really doing some big things.
Well, this has been a phenomenal season for us in football, and it's because of the coaching staff, and it's because of the players, and it's because of the fans, especially the Terrier Club. We get amazing support from our alums and other members of the Terrier Club, and that makes a big difference.
One of those major alums, Jerry Richardson, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, 1958 grad of Wofford College, and over to our left is the Richardson Center. Just talk about what he's meant to this college.
Well, he's been a trustee for decades, and of course it was his inspiration that caused us to go Division I, and then his very generous offer to help us have NFL standard facilities that enables us to recruit students. We still give fewer scholarships than almost any of our competitors, but we award them well, and we manage to win.
That's right, Dr. Benjamin. 48 scholarships compared to 63 with other schools. Wofford College up 10-0 at halftime. This is Benjamin Dunlap of Wofford College. More second half highlights coming back.
Thanks, Rob.
This halftime has been brought to you by Office Depot. Office Depot, what you need to know. College, where the Wofford Terriers lead the Aggies of North Carolina A&T in our Division I AA playoffs 10-0 at halftime. Charlie Neal along with Jay Walker. And Jay, looking at this first half and going back and trying to figure out what Coach Small is saying to his team at halftime, what would you be saying?
Well, I would say, guys, we're right there with these guys. I mean, they're the number 3 seed, but they're not outplaying us. We're moving the ball up and down the field, but every time we make a mistake, they're capitalizing. Defense, you have to find a way to create some turnovers to help get some momentum in our court. But I think the Aggies realize in this first half, they can play with this Terrier football team.
And you saw what Mike Ayers said to Rob Jones going off at halftime. What do you think his adjustments are?
Well, I think Mike Ayers gained a level of respect for the Aggies. He came out and said, hey, this game's not going to be over till the final whistle. He respects the athleticism. So he's telling his team, hey, we got them down right now. Let's play like we have the lead, but we don't want to give North Carolina A&T any chance or any hope at all that they can come back and win this football game.
All right, let's check some of the first half highlights of this particular ball game. And, of course, the Aggies were sometimes their own worst enemy. Here right now we see Kevius Johnson turning the corner, and they're getting the ball and running very well.
Yeah, and they got the running game going early. And then for North Carolina A&T, it was a matter of doing some hard, right up the middle running. Scriven was running the ball, pounding the ball play after play. But then what happened, they started to turn the football over. You see Rico Watson just throwing the alley-oop type pass that Matt Nelson went and picked up off the air. And then the quarterback keeper right there, you saw Zolman get the ball, sprint up the middle for a 44-yard pickup to utilize the running game that they had going on. And then after that, they got the student body president involved, J.R. McNair, pounding the ball in there for pay dirt to give them a lead. And then A&T turned the football over. Teddy Whitaker did a good job of shooting the gap, forcing the turnover. And after the Terriers got the football, well, what teams do in the playoffs? They capitalize on that, setting up a field goal attempt to make it a 10-0 score, which is where we stand right now at the end of the first half.
And let's look at our Geico first half stats. And, of course, you look at the first downs, but the most glaring thing that jumps out at you is the time of possession where the Aggies have a 5-minute and 40-second advantage.
Yeah, and that's what they wanted to do, was win that time of possession. But the unfortunate thing is they're winning the time of possession, but every time they get the ball in Wofford territory, they find a way to put the ball on the carpet or have a turnover, and that's been the big difference so far. We knew that Wofford wasn't going to pass for a lot of yards. A&T's finding a way to start throwing the ball. They got to get that passing total up to about 160, 170 yards by the time this football game is over.
And you look how evenly those teams are matched in terms of total yards in the first half. Only 1 yard separates the two teams. 136 for the Aggies, 135 for Wofford.
Yeah, and only one separates the teams on the scoreboard, too, except that Wofford's got that one in front of their 0, and A&T's still stuck on 0. But 10-0, it's going to be an exciting first half. I think the Aggies will settle down, and I think the Terriers will try some misdirection as well to kind of jumpstart their offense as well.
All right, Rob Jones is down on the sideline with George Small. Rob?
Coach, you're down 10-0. Playing good football, but things you talked about early in the week about not committing turnovers, you committed to, and they capitalized on them.
Oh, very much so. You're not going to give a good football team of this caliber that many opportunities, and you can't afford to turn the football over to them, and that's exactly what we did, and that's the difference in this football game.
You know, huge momentum builder. You could have gotten the field goal at the end of the half. What did you tell your team at halftime?
Very simply, we just got to execute. I mean, we start executing and being more consistent. Hey, we win this ball game, and we can win the football game. So until we start doing that, it's going to be ugly. So we just got to turn it around and be more consistent and start playing football like we know we can.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach, and good luck in the second half.
And he said the big word, magic word, be consistent, turn it around, and do the things that got you here in the second half. This is the all-conference first team. There's Alan Silber, along with a pair of freshman running backs, Coleman from Hampton and Rutherford from Howard University, and Tavares Morgan, Jerome Mathis at the receiver spot. Cash was the tight end, and the defense led by Stephen Baggs. He was the defensive player of the year. Ike Hilton from Hampton, White and Gamble on the line, Jones, Muhammad and Talley, the linebackers, and Buffet, Ravenel, Torrey Robinson, and the rest of the crew, the special teams, all MEAC conference first team this year. Yeah, congratulations to those gentlemen.
Yeah, you see a lot of youngsters on that roster. I mean, you got 2 running backs that are both freshmen, and then you got Bethea in the secondary who's just a sophomore. So a lot of young talent is MEAC, and for those seniors on that squad, what a way to go out. You're going to play your senior year football. It's good to go out knowing that you're one of the best players in your conference your particular year.
So the Wofford Terriers will get the ball to start the second half. They had the ball to start the ball game. And Matthews will kick it off. Wofford has Kevius Johnson normally in a return spot. Let's see if he's back there today. He's on the far side, along with Shield Wood, who's on the near side. As you look at Yannick Matthews, who's not had a good kicking 2 weeks. He had some problems against South Carolina State last week, missed a field goal today. And this one will not be returned as he gets it down, and Wofford will start the second half at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, when we talk about the second half and when you got teams out there in the playoffs, the great teams know how to put their opponents away. Well, take a look at this Terrier-type team. What have they done? Give them a lead at halftime? You can cancel Christmas, basically. It's 43-0, 43 straight games in a row when they get the lead. So it's going to be a challenge for the Aggies. We knew it wouldn't be easy coming in here anytime you go in the playoffs on the road, but that's making it even more an uphill climb.
Certainly is. First down and 10. Starting the second half here. Zolman starts the second half at quarterback, pulls it down on a little play action, and decides to keep the ball and run it up the field for a couple of yards.
Yeah, you can tell he's very well coached there. He looked for the pass there in the play action. It wasn't there. Oh, well, the pass is not there. Get me positive yards. That's what the coordinator's thinking, and Zolman does a good job of just getting positive yards, turns a nothing play into a 4-yard gain. Wofford doesn't try to beat you with 10-yard spurts. They want to beat you 4 yards at a time, 4 yards at a time.
Second down. Here's the play. Here's the little pitch. And down the sidelines, finally pushed out of bounds. On the near sideline, as you see Jackson, that's Gabriel Jackson, We saw Dr. Dunlap being interviewed by Rob at halftime, the president of Wofford College. One thing Rob forgot to ask him, does he have any coaching plans? Because, of course, Coach Lassane, the tight ends coach, is the former president of Wofford College, and he's a volunteer assistant. But I'll tell you, there's always great things for you to do once you leave the presidency, right?
Well, I'm sure it is. And it's that type of campus environment where everybody's close, and it's comfortable enough scenario where the president can just say, hey, I'm done being president. Let me come and be with my guys in the trenches on the football team, and they welcome him. And it can only help you having a former president tells you what type of players you go out and recruit, what to expect, and you got guys that are going to be coming and pulling for you at all angles. Wofford College is a special place here in Spartanburg.
And they talk about, here's a team, two teams that started out the season here in fine style. The Carolina Panthers, They had their training camp here, and of course Wofford's here. And here's Zolman, he's headed to the end zone. He's at the 20, and he's caught from behind at the 19-yard line by one of the linebackers who came up to make the stop defensively for the Aggies, and that's Joey Lance. Joey Lance ran him down. That's the second long run for Mr. Zolman today. He had a 44-yard in the first half.
Yeah, and you're so worried about the running back. In that case, they didn't tackle McNair or Zolman until he got that far downfield, and then he turned on the Jets there. And a good job of Joey Lance just not quitting, not giving up, and that could be a touchdown-saving tackle there. Zolman goes over the 100-yard rushing mark for the day.
44 yards on that run, and Zolman again puts his head down and gets down to the 11.
Yeah, that's one of those coaching changes. Talk about what do coaches go in there and tell players at halftime? Well, they must have seen something in the Aggie defense saying, hey, they're not accounting for our quarterback. Let's fake the ball to J.R. McNair. Quarterbacks, you're going to have to pick it up in the running game. And right now, look at those phenomenal numbers right there. 6 rushes, 106 yards. So it's obvious that Wofford has figured out that the quarterback is the key to rushing the football today.
848 yards coming in, rushing for Zolman and 2 touchdowns. And here's a handoff straight into the gut. And it's a first down and goal at the 4-yard line as J.R. McNair. As they get close to the goal line, that's who they like to give it to, the senior from Jonesboro, Georgia, and Mount Zion High.
Yeah, and where are the defensive linemen for North Carolina A&T? Seems like they're still stuck in the locker room at halftime. Those holes are wide open in the middle. Lewis and Alaribi have to show up and make big plays because Wofford is just running all over them right down the middle.
And McNair again gets the handoff, but he's pulled down immediately. And at the bottom of the pile for the Aggies is Jermaine Brantley.
Bradley's one of those good players, and he can step up and make big plays, and that's what you need every now and then. To stop that dive, you got to get some beef in the game and let the big fellas come in there and dictate, because if you allow Wofford to continue to run the ball up the middle, it's going to be a long second half.
J.R. McNair, the lone setback behind Zolman, and here's J.R. again, and he will not get away this time from Milton. Shamar Milton out of Dudley High in Greensboro, number 43 there, is right there to make the stop.
Yeah, and that's rising to the occasion. This is what they call a little Aggie pride. Shoot the gap, tackle the guy. McNair, we saw him running a couple times on fakes up the middle. Well, if he gets the football, you knew he wasn't going to gain any yards. And if the quarterback decides to pull it out of there, make sure he doesn't gain any yards either. Shamar Milton, a fantastic linebacker, 5'11", 235 junior. He can play.
3rd and goal from the 6 after the loss of 3. Pitch, the option, he's in, Zolman, touchdown from 5-6 yards out. Zolman with the rushing touchdown. That's only his 5th rushing touchdown this year.
Somebody's got to be responsible for the quarterback. You see the first fake, and then he's right there. Who's got the quarterback? Well, nobody's there. You miss a tackle, open field tackle on the quarterback. He's going to hurt you. And Zolman's a good enough runner where if you don't assign somebody that's a good tackler to wrap up the quarterback, you're in trouble. He makes the Aggies pay.
3-minute, 35-second drive, and the point after by Nick Robinson is good, and it's now 17-0. Aggies down. Here's Zolman, his 11th career rushing touchdown. Aggies take the second half kickoff, drive 80 yards, and lead it 17-0 now. Make that the Wofford Terriers. I said the Aggies. The Aggies are down 17-0. Wednesdays on NBC Network. Get set for back-to-back laughs with Rock. Charles Dutton stars in the hilarious sitcom Sitting on the Life of a lovable Baltimore garbage man. An hour comedy and capers with Rock. Wednesdays at 8 and 8:30 p.m. right here on NBC. Just take a look at Jeff Zolman, the junior from Chaminade High, or Chaminade Junior College. He's from Dayton, Ohio. He just scored the touchdown to put his team ahead by 17. Here's the kick. Over the 4-yard line. Good return all the way up across the 40 to about the 1-yard line by Bud Phillips.
Yeah, when you take a look at what's going on here in college football, that we always say that the game in Louisiana comes down to what's in the sauce that week, what's in the roux of the gumbo. Give me your thoughts on that Bayou Classic down there.
Well, what's happening? I don't even know the score.
Scrambling 14, Southern 7 thus far. Thus far. Those are both quick strike offenses. They can do something.
Hey, you know, it doesn't matter when those two get together. There's Rico Watkins getting the pass complete for 5 yards down at the 46-yard line. Remember, Watkins started the ball game, gave way to Marshall Glenn, and now he's starting the second half. So we'll see if he can get any offense generated. This is the first time the Aggies have had the ball in the second half.
You know, if he can start off the second half like he started off the first half, in the beginning of this football game, he was phenomenal. He played great. He just had a very rough second quarter.
Back to pass it again. Has it complete. And a first down is gained across midfield and into Terrier territory. And it's Doug Brown on the reception, number 5, his second reception of the day.
And I like that. Open up the passing game. We thought that the key to this football game would be those athletes for A&T making Wofford make the tackles. If you get the ball as wide receivers with some space, in the blink of an eye, they can turn a quarter, make one of these Terrier tacklers miss, and take the ball to the end zone for a touchdown to get them back in this football game quickly. But you got to have a disciplined passing game. Don't force it. Don't forget Matt Nelson's back there as well.
Watkins has it complete on the near sideline. This time Jamal Jones with his first catch of the day.
You know, we got a lot of stuff going on here in black college football today. Bethune-Cookman against Florida Atlantic in the playoffs, 17-3 Florida Atlantic. Howard Schnellenberger doing a good job. His team is beating Alvin White. And understand that Alan Superman got hurt in the first quarter. Early in the first quarter, because it was 0-0. Then if you blinked, it became 17-0 in the back of an eye. That might have been what happened to turn the momentum.
Second down, 5. Watkins again. He's going to step up and run it. Watkins still on his feet, makes a good move, cuts back, it is down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, and a gain of about 15 on the run, and it's a first down and 10 for the Aggies.
Yeah, this is what you got, a good old-fashioned quarterback draw. Look at the center and guard, release downfield, let your man come upfield, then release upfield, and Watkins does a good job of being agile with a big frame at 6'6". He can move his feet like he's a little 5'11" type of scat back. Good job, and I like the call. Hey, get your quarterback settled, fake the play-action pass, run the draw. He almost took that one to the house.
Officially 14 yards on the run by Rico Watkins. He's now going to pass it. Has it complete on the near sideline and out of bounds. Goes Jamal Jones with his second reception. Out of bounds, that time by Craig Thomas.
If I was an A&T wide receiver, I'd be a little frustrated. I mean, look how long he sits and he waits. That ball should be on you right now. Now. But see, because Rico's so smooth and laid back with his drop back, a 3-step drop is all about time. 1, 2, 3, boom, get rid of it.
Coach says sometimes you have to say, Rico.
Rico, step into it. Get rid of it. If he gets that ball to Jamal Jones sooner, Jones can catch the ball, square him up, and make him miss. There's urgency in the 3-step drop. It's all about time.
This time, Frank Patterson cuts it back. Frank Patterson is inside the 20 in red zone territory, and he's facing a third down and 1. That is the Aggies.
Yeah, the third and 1 is a very makeable third and 1. And hey, go to the quick hit play there, and then come back. And this is a good job by the Aggies of answering the call. Wofford came out, tried to blow this game open. It seems like it happened to Bethune-Cookman down there in Florida. Hey, when Wofford scored to go up by 17, A&T's put together their best drive so far in this football game. Let's just see if they can get this first to maintain the drive and gather some type of momentum.
They in the first half. The last possession got to the Wofford 15, missed the 32-yard field goal. Let's see if they can make something happen. Patterson, he is hit, and I don't think he had the first down. The first man to hit him was Steele, number 19, Ryan Steele out of York, South Carolina. And let's see what happens now. The official's going to look at it.
Yeah, another one of those deep handoffs. He gets the ball 4 yards deep, and he's got to make 3 guys miss just to get back to the line of scrimmage. And now you're putting it in the official's hands, and that's what you don't want. But you kind of like to see the only way that this Terrier football team can stop A&T on a 3rd and 1, 3rd short is to guess in the stunning gap. Why not do a quick hit play, lean on those big offensive linemen? You got Chris Gates, who weighs 330 pounds, just run behind him.
Well, they pull the chain, and you see how short they are. Probably less than 6 inches.
So now, right now, if I'm Coach Small, I've got a guard that weighs 330 pounds. I got a quarterback that weighs 210 pounds. He's 6'6". I quarterback sneak. I don't hand the ball off deep in the backfield and tell the guys right now this is what Aggie football is all about. Let's get this first down. 4th and inches is all about who wants it more. That's all.
The quarterback takes it. He just leaped right over the top, and he made it easy. With those long legs. Remember, Watkins is 6'6", 6'7", and if he just stretched his body, he's got the first down.
Yeah, the key was he stepped back so he could get separation from the line in order to jump forward. Risky there because the key is if they hit your legs, when you take that step back, you're in trouble. But he did a good job of extending forward using that long line. Look at that. When you outweigh an offensive line by almost 50 pounds right here, you got to take advantage of that right there. You should be able to get 3rd and short anytime you please.
66% in red zone territory. Ow! That looks bad. And it's almost caught. Touchdown. Almost. Wow, take it. That ball really, that was as dangerous a pass as I've ever seen. Jamal Jones almost came up with it after it hit 2 defenders. Why?
And this is a double move, and the reason why the defensive back didn't bite for it because he hasn't thrown that pass on time and all day. This ball's tipped up in the air. Nelson came over to get it, and Jamal Jones almost pulled it back in. The timing was not there. That's part of the reason why you have to have the timing. Take a look here as Jamal Jones does a good job of playing defensive back, and then once Nelson comes over and misses, he tries to get it. Whoa! He got that.
Yeah, but the tip of the ball
hit
hit
the ground. He got his hand underneath that.
He got his hand under there, but he still didn't hold on to it. Here's Rico Watkins. He's going to keep it. He's down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and about 2.
And that's playing to your strength. You got Rico, 6'6" guy, he's a left-handed quarterback. Call the bootleg, fake the run to the right. Here's what you want to do. Fake the run this way, let him roll out this way on the bootleg. It's his left-hand side. It's just a simple pass-run combination. If you see somebody you want to throw to, pass it. If not, just run the ball. Designed right there. Settling his quarterback down. As a coach, you got to learn to figure out ways what makes your quarterback in his comfort zone. And I think Coach Small's figured out a combination of running and passing, either bootleg and 3-step drops, is Rico Watkins' strength.
He is the leading rusher for the Aggies today. That is the quarterback, as is the quarterback for Wofford. Here is Scriven trying to get to the 5-yard line. He has the first down. All he had to do was get to the 6. And he should have enough for the first, and it's 1st and goal for the Aggies.
Yeah, just look at the collision here. You're going to see Scriven bounce off the initial tackler. Boom! Kind of gave it to his own man there a little bit, but that's hard running. Whoever's in my way is going to pay the price for trying to tackle me. Good job of running the football there. These guys we mentioned before, the Terriers don't like tackling Scriven. He's too big a load. They want to ankle tackle him if they could.
Under 7 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Here's Scriven trying to cut it back. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard, if that.
You know, and you talk about, hey, what's one of the ways you can bring down Scriven? Well, you got an ankle tackle guy like that. When he's a big load up top and weighs 220 pounds probably towards the end of the season, you got to tackle his ankles. Look here, the good job of just by the defensive lineman, just getting them at the ankles here, coming from the backside and leg whipping them there for the tackle, making it easier on the defensive back. 2nd and 5, now's the time where we do a little rollout for Rico Watkins. Same run-pass combination.
And he rolls to the left. He has some running room, but he doesn't get there. Good defensive surge by Wofford, led by number 31 down there on the defensive side of the ball, and that is Brandon Smith, who came up to make sure that Rico Watkins wasn't going to get in.
Yeah, but that's the call you want there. You saw the play action fake with the bootleg. He made up his mind early to run and get the ball at positive yardage. You got 2 downs now in order to get the ball to the end zone.
13 plays so far. This will be the 14th play of the drive for the Aggies. Straight ahead, Scriven, and he's not going to get there. Presley was the man, the first one to hit him. Number 95, John Presley. So it brings up 4th down. This drive started at their own 41-yard line. They are down to the 2 of Wofford, the closest the Aggies have been today.
Wow, looks like they're going to go for it. I would
the 3.
I'd kick it here. You got to get points on the board. You're going to need 3 scores anyway. You know, if you come away with nothing now, you're still going to need 3. Whereas if you got just a field goal, you just need 2. So they got a high percentage on 4th down. That's why I'm in the booth and coach them all down here on the field.
I would like to go to Doug Brown. He's out there on the island all by himself. Here's the quarterback. He's going to take it, and he's going to get in. Rico Watkins,
he's so nonchalant. Where is he going? And then I'm like, did he just step out of bounds? He's getting to see the A&T coaches over here on the side. They're hard to beat. Like, what are they doing there?
They're small. He looks calm, but he's not.
I mean, look at this. He's just running like, oh, okay, well, I'll run. Well, no, here's a guy coming. Well, at the last second, he just kind of stuck his toe out to knock the pylon out the way. I tell you, I wish my nerves could be that calm, because that's just something you can't teach, that wherewithal just to be smooth. Kind of like you, Charlie Hill, nice and smooth.
Yannick Matthews going for the point after, and the Aggies finally get on the scoreboard, and it's a 17-7 ball game, but Watkins now with the big run, and it's only his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. He makes it a big one. We'll be back to Spartanburg in a moment.
Let's get some runs now. Get him, slugger.
Hey, I know that guy. That's Miles.
He can't bat for you. He works for Office Depot.
Oh, he absolutely works for us. Office Depot set up our entire office. Computers, desks, chairs, right down to the chair mats. Technically, yeah, he works for Office Depot, but they're a huge part of our company. Do a lot more than Hanson.
And he's got a bat for us, too.
No way, why?
Where do you think we got our computers?
Office Depot. Everything your business needs to win at everyday low prices.
Here we go, steal. Down the middle. 1-on-1.
Did you see what I see? Because that's all Roberts. Is it another Coke?
Yeah.
Hey, you crazy, man? Let's break your leather and use the footstool to keep the refrigerator. I'm running all over you like a treadmill. I am the greatest. I'm the greatest. Can't stop it. It's bad hot. I'm telling you. I'm just super nice in it, you know? That's all. When you nice, that's all that is now. That's all.
Hello, I'm Dennis Thomas, Commissioner of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. On behalf of our 3,000 student athletes and over 200,000 alumni and 11 premier academic institutions, I'm delighted you have joined us for this telecast. The MEAC is committed to and plays a leadership role in providing high-quality academic offerings, competitive opportunities, and experiences for all of our students. To learn more about the MEAC, visit our website, meacsports.com, and support your favorite team.
Aggies score finally. First time they've scored today on a 3-yard run by Rico Watkins to make it 17-7. Let's look at our NBC Trivia Question of the Week, brought to you by Geico, the sensible alternative. The question is, which former Aggie holds the school record for touchdowns in a career? Well, you can log on to your answer to our website at www.nbcnetwork.com and become eligible for a special sports prize package.
Hicks, Cornet Maynard,
wait.
so many, I don't know, Charlie. I'm just trying to give him some names and kind of give him something to make it easy for him.
That's nice.
I don't even know if I named one of them.
Probably didn't. Keith Johnson on the return out across the 20 to the 23.
You know, and part of the reason that the Terriers have this 17-7 lead has been the play of that guy you're looking at there, the quarterback, Zolman, played a fantastic football game. Jeff, in terms of calling his own number, you see him here split the Aggie defense right up the middle for this 44-yard scamper in the first half. And then what did he do to start off the second half on the first possession? Called his own number again, rushed to the outside to help lead to the scoring drive they had to start off the second half. And then when he got down here close to the end zone, well, if I ran it this far, I might as well take it all the way into the house. Jeff Zolman's gone over 100 yards rushing from the quarterback position.
And this is the second possession for Wofford second half. Each team scoring on their first possession of the second half. Here's a little option pitch out to the right side, entering the corner and getting out of bounds. Kevius Johnson, freshman. Well, I'll tell you, they call him Special K. And he said, a lot of people didn't recruit me coming out of high school because of my size. They listed him at 5'9", 180, but he's more like 5'7", about 160, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But he's a playmaker. Every now and then you just got to take stats and numbers and throw them out the window. If a guy can play, a guy can play. I played with many small guys. My roommate Gary Harrell was 135 pounds. I played with David Palmer in the NFL, who was 165 pounds. If you can play, you can play.
You certainly can. In high school, 3,500 yards and 55 touchdowns. His last 2 years at Fitzgerald High down in Fitzgerald, Georgia. He was the Southern Conference Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, they got to steal. They think that his future is just tremendous.
Full start, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
First penalty of the game against Wofford today. Here's a team that was not penalized much during the regular season. They were the second least penalized team in the Southern Conference.
Caught you moving there. That's one of those penalties that you don't see from Wofford. That's one of the ones where Coach Ayers, he's a very calm guy, but I can tell he's got that football coach look about him. He got to look like he's scared of daylight today.
First down at 15 for Wofford. Here again is Kevius Johnson. Secondary fumble the ball. The Aggies may have it. Maybe a break for the Aggies. First turnover of the day for Wofford. And the Aggies get it back at the 40-yard line of Wofford.
In the game of football, things have to balance out. A&T turned it over twice in the first half. Hey, they're leading the MEAC in turnover ratio too. Sooner or later, they're going to get their break. Kevius Johnson running hard up the middle. He finds a big hole, and as he accelerates through, one of those defensive linemen from the Aggies managed to get their arm up, and they do a good job of getting the fumble. They needed a break like that to help get them in the game. As Eddie Ravenel celebrates a little bit and says, "Come on, guys, let's go. Offense, now do your job."
So the big break for the Aggies now at the Wofford 40, make it to 39.
No!
Oh, that should have been 6. It was in and out of the hands of number 8 there, Craig Thomas. And Craig Thomas, he was looking at the end zone and just couldn't get there.
Yeah, you got to ask me why was I saying no before he threw the ball. But they're playing a cover 2 defense. They started off playing cover 3, and when they played the cover 3 defense, it was wide open. You can take the hitch route, but when they go with cover 2, that just means that the quarterback is creeping up and his zone is only 5 yards. They baited him. They should have had a touchdown going to the house. Rico has to do a better job of seeing that cover.
He certainly didn't look at it, I'll tell you that. Here's the running back, Micho Hollingsworth, and Hollingsworth gets about 5 yards down to the 35 of Wofford. It'll bring up third down, make it a 4-yard gain, 3rd and 6.
And that's what's frustrating. Going back to that last pass, I mean, that's like one of the things you learn in high school, just between a cover 2 and a cover 3. And Rico's played a fantastic first half, but when you throw that type of pass there, it makes the coach say, "What are you thinking? Well, what are you seeing? But what are you thinking?"
Under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Cover 2. That's the cover 2 that you're looking at.
Play action again. Rico Watkins pulls up, throws, has a man wide open in the middle of the field. That's the tight end King. Joshua King has a first down at the 15-yard line. Only the 6th catch of the year for the junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina's Pine for tie.
What do you do when you got a quarterback that's not making the best decisions, thinking mentally? Well, you take the thinking portion out of it and say, "I just want you to react, son." Roll him out the pocket.
Look at all the people.
Let's find somebody. Let's find somebody. He cut back against the grain, and that's just an athletic throw that you can't teach. He's left-handed, rolling to his right, threw the ball with a jump start in the air to complete that pass. He's a great athlete, phenomenal player.
Hollingsworth going straight ahead. The ball out to the 10-yard line. So they get 20 yards on that pass play to Joshua King, the tight end.
That's the time where you go to shotgun. I would like to see you spread them out a little bit. Don't make it tight, because when you go very tight and put a whole lot of people close to the line of scrimmage on offense, Wofford's going to do the same thing, and they just want to have bodies all over the line of scrimmage. Spread them out tight. Maybe look for a quarterback draw or something with Rico.
It is 2nd down, 2nd and 6. Spread out, carry to the bottom of your screen. Deep handoff. Cutting back is Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth's inside the 5 to the 4. Flag is down, maybe false start against the Aggies. 2 flags are down. Illegal shift against the A&T Aggies.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. And You know, when you get down in that situation, you got to make everything count once you get into the red zone. I call it the money zone.
Illegal shift on the offense. 2 men moving at the same time. 5-yard penalty for the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
You know why I call it the money zone?
Because you better score.
But if I get down there, I'm coming to get my money. I drove this far down the field. I get inside the 20. I want my money. I don't want half my check. I want my whole check.
So it's 2nd and 11 after the penalty against the Aggies. That is their 3rd penalty, I believe, of the ball game. Watkins stands in there. Who's going to run it? Holds that ball a little loosely for me. He scared me the way he holds that ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, very loosely holds that football there. And he's so tall and gangly what it is that he thinks he's holding it tight, but the ball's really kind of out there hanging, and just wonder when somebody's going to come by and strip it. And you take a look here, and those Wildcats putting up a little bit of a fight. They're making it a ball game down there, 17-10. Hey, Bethune-Cookman out wide. We knew that team would not lay down with all that talent they have with Steven Baggs and the rest of the crew. They're going to put up a fight down there. That's going to be a close one.
Silver still out from what I understand, though, in that ball game. It is 3rd down and 5. Perry to the top of your screen. Phillips in the slot to the left. Here's the quarterback. He's not going to get there. Not letting him go is big number 75, Lee Basinger out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. Preseason first team All-Southern Conference.
He's got it. Look at it. All he has to do is wait for the lead block there. Wait. But he outran his lead blocker there. You should have sold the ball upfield a little bit more, take your drop one more step, then shoot up the middle. You had a great lead blocker there. That play could have burst for a touchdown, but that case, he had a little sense of urgency in that case. He didn't wait for the hole to develop.
25-yard field goal attempt this time by Matthews. He missed the 32-yard earlier. This one is up, and it is good. So the Aggies edge a little bit closer. They make it a 7-point ball game with the field goal.
Hi, can I help you? We're looking for something real. I know what you mean. Take a look. Honey.
This one looks nice.
And it's trail rated. Really trail rated.
If it's not trail rated, it's not a G4x4.
NBC salutes historically black colleges and universities.
Hello, I'm Chancellor Rennick from North Carolina A&T State University. Make an investment in your future. Expect success at A&T.
Discover that Black Enterprise Magazine ranked A&T as North Carolina's #1 school for African Americans. A&T is the nation's #1 producer of minorities with degrees in science, mathematics, engineering, and technology. A&T has a distinguished business school. A&T is a top producer of African American landscape architects. Expect success at A&T.
Tomorrow belongs to the youth of today. NBC salutes North Carolina A&T for its role in securing our future.
Hi, I'm Kim Field, and you're watching NBC, your family's urban network.
It is a 7-point ball game. Yannick Matthews, who missed a 32-yarder earlier in the first half, is still a 25-yard field goal and pulled the Aggies to within 7 points. And, of course, that's taking advantage of that fumble by Kevius Johnson, the freshman. And that's what you have to do.
Yeah, you do. Anytime they fumble the ball, you're going to turn put some type of points on the board just to let them know they won't get away with it. But more importantly, back-to-back scoring drives. There's 10 unanswered points that the Aggies have come away with. They've got the band rocking, and everybody here in this Wofford crowd is stunned a little bit, sitting on their seats waiting for something big to happen.
And here's Kevius Johnson at the goal line on the return now. And he is met at the 14-yard line and by a host of gold jerseys. Let's look at our trivia question. Which former Aggie holds the school record for touchdowns in a career? Jay? You don't know. Anyway, it was Stony Polite. He doesn't know who it is. I know he's up guessing. He didn't even heard of Stony Polite. Who? Stony Polite scored 41 touchdowns between 1984 and 1987 while gaining 2,671 yards He scored 18 touchdowns in 1986. Now, a lot of people will think about Maurice Hicks.
Yeah.
Maurice Hicks only played 2 years at North Carolina A&T. He scored 30 touchdowns, but it was Stony Polite with 41 touchdowns. That was brought to you by Geico, the sensible alternative. First down and 10. And here's the quarterback again with a first down run. That is Zolman.
Yeah, that was a good job by the Zolman playing out the fake. I thought McNair still had the football, but take a look at what the turnovers have cost. You see right here, Whitaker got the backfield, forced a turnover there, and we knew both these defenses were very aggressive, and they would get it and capitalize off a turnover by kicking a field goal. That's how you put points on the board. Then you saw Johnson get the ball, rush through the hole here, and bobbled the ball, and A&T capitalized with the field goal of their own. So turnovers that played took a factor in this football game.
Now trying to come to the near side as Gabriel Jackson. Gabriel Jackson has run the ball. That's his third carry today for the Terriers of Wofford. Gabriel is a young man out of Dahlonega, Georgia. Came into the game with 182 yards in carries.
Both of these teams, it's not underestimating the fact that both these teams were supposed to finish somewhere in the middle of the conference.
So,
one was 5, one was 6.
Wofford was picked to finish 5th in the Southern Conference, A&T 6th in the Eastern Athletic Conference. Here's Jackson trying to go to the left side this time. He's run out of bounds in front of the Aggie bench with 8 seconds, I believe it is, to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, well, what a play there by the safety, Ed Ravenel. I mean, he shed off a blocker. Wide receiver was trying to cut him below at the ankle.
Look at the size. The Smurfs. Look at the size of those running backs. Look at number 23.
You can't even see him back there.
Gabriel, they listed as 5'9". Yeah. My nephew is over 5. Is 6 years old. He's bigger than that.
Yeah, we were talking about Jaron McNair when he's 6'2". He went so bow-legged. So, they're small, but they get it done.
Big third down play now from the shotgun. Here's an option. Trying to go to the right side. Here's some running room. First down. Yes. Across the 40 to the 42, and it was DeLoach who came up to make this stop for Jackson. He said, "You talk about me all you want. How short I am. I got the first down, didn't I?"
Yeah, he said, "I got the speed to outrun Doug Okorocha there to the corner." That's what it was, speed on speed. And, what they did was find a way of turning on the Jets. Gabriel Jackson turned on the Jets there to help get the first down for the Terriers.
That's the end of the third quarter here. It's been a quarterback show here in the third quarter so far between the two number 15s. We'll be back.
Now with a late-breaking story, here's Suzanne.
Thanks, Tom. As the volcano continues to erupt, we take you live to correspondent John Ryland, who's at the scene. John, what's the situation?
Suzanne, as you can see behind me, the lava is covering an area of about 2 square miles. It's a bad situation, but I do have good news.
What's that, John?
I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
1895, Bolton, England. Joseph William Foster created the world's first running spike. This legacy of performance lives on today in the Vector. Out the bomb.
15 minutes of regulation football here in Spartanburg at Gibbs Stadium on the campus of Wofford College. And don't forget, in 2 weeks, Jay and I will be in Birmingham, Alabama for the Jeep SWAC Championship. It all kicks off at 1:30 p.m. with the sports desk and then the game at 2 p.m. And who will it be? We know it's Alabama State, one of the teams, whether it be Grambling or Southern, is their opponent. We'll wait and find out the results of today's Bayou Classic.
We'll live sports desk. Mark Gray and the crew will be there too. So all NBC Sports will be well represented in that game, in that venue.
First down and 10 for the Terriers of Wofford.
Let me tell you a little thing that goes on, and people don't really know this. Charlie, you can relate this from your days back in Nova. The importance of having a band. During that break there between the quarters, the A&T band fired up their best song, and their defense got so excited, and it carried over in that play right there. I mean, they're standing on the edge of their feet, and they're ready to get it going, and just by playing the most popular song after the day, little things like that can pump up your defense and really get to a victory.
Great crowd on hand here. This stadium that seats 13,000, named after Razor Gibbs, who won 16 varsity letters, a 1946 graduate of Wofford, who this stadium built in 1996, and the stadium's only, 7 years old now.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. And, I always like to say, who's the guy that built this stadium? Because there's always a little legend, like if Howard ever built a stadium, they're going to say Jay Walker built that stadium. Well, in the case of Wofford, it's Sean Graves, quarterback, Division II All-American for 3 years in a row, and did all those yards without a pectoral muscle in one of his arms. But he was a fantastic football player. I had opportunity to see him play.
Here's a little reverse coming back to their side. They keep it on the ground with one of the receivers, Curtis Nash, on the end around, and Curtis Nash may have the first down. Let's see how close it is.
Yeah, this is a misdirection. Everybody's going this way. Whoa, here comes the ball coming around this side here. You got one seal block there. What a great tackle there by number 4. Theron Thomas doing a good job of making his blocker miss and slide underneath to bring up a crucial 4th down.
4th down and inches for Wofford. Biggest play of the day for Wofford on 4th down. They don't mind going for it. They wait to see if the defense jumps. Now they get the ball off. Now the quarterback keeps it, and he gets it. That is Zollman, who's been the MVP so far in this game.
Yeah, that was a very smart move. Because if he would have given that ball to J.R. McNair, he was stuck. They were waiting for J.R. McNair to get the football. Zollman had the guts to call his own number with the game on the line in the trenches. Did a good dive fake there and kept his own number, then shot straight ahead. But look how fast those Aggie defenders came in there swarming to the football. They're starting to figure each other out right now. It's going to be a matter of who wants it more.
Zollman reminds him so much of Alan Suber. That's his closest team that they played that runs the same type of offense. And Zollman does the same type of things that Alan Suber did and does for Bethune-Cookman. Let's go down to Rob.
Hey, Charlie and Jay, you guys alluded to tight ends coach from Wofford, Joe Lassane, earlier. He is the former president. From 28 years, he was there from 1972 to 2000. A former assistant coach, played baseball and basketball at Erskine College, where his dad was the president. He told me he was sidetracked into becoming a professor. He should have always been a coach.
Well, you never get too old to live out your dreams, right? And he's doing it right now. Keeping the ball on the ground. Again, going straight ahead. Terriers of Wofford, J.R. McNair on the carry, and McNair.
What doesn't J.R. McNair do?
They don't. What is so interesting is some great stories here about some of the things that Coach Mike Ayers allows the students to do. He doesn't pressure these guys about being time for practice, and if you've got class and he's got all these other activities, that he's involved in. He says as long as you contribute when you get here, he doesn't pressure them. And here we go to the left side. Again, the crowd on hand. This 13,000-seat stadium, the largest crowd they had this season when they played South Carolina State in their home opener. They had over 11,000, and that's the largest crowd they've had in the history of the stadium. And they may have exceeded that today because the Aggie side on the far side is full, especially with the band. And this side is full. People are sitting in the end zones, and they're just
kids are sledding down the hill.
Yeah, they're having fun. You would think if it was snow down there, we'd have a ski party going on.
Well, if it was snow down there, we might not have many people in the stands, but they're having a good time here. It's a good environment. The Carolina Panthers practice here.
Yeah, the owner is a graduate of Wofford, the owner of the Panthers. And again, all being kept on the ground in the ground game, working effectively for Wofford College. Zollman again keeping the ball on the ground and running effectively and running straight ahead.
Got a little update that the Grambling Tigers have jumped out to a 17-13 lead over the Jaguars for Southern, so they're going at it. They're going at it, and we knew they would. But, looking out here, you see this environment we got here, this is the way it should be done. If you're going to do Division I AA football, do it just like they're doing it here. Great model to follow.
Option play, Zolman grabbed from behind and brought down before he could get loose, and Darrell Hamilton of Detroit, Michigan, number 93, was the man who got a hold of him.
Yeah, you have to account for the quarterback, and how do you account for the quarterback? You just stick out a big arm there, and whatever you grab, you hold on to. That's called a fingertip tackle there. A&T still struggling to figure out that McNair's not going to be the lead rusher for Wofford today. It's going to be Zolman. You got to stop Zolman. Change your whole game plan. Don't worry about McNair. You got to worry about him, but stop Zolman. Put a body on him.
Under 10 minutes to go here, fourth quarter. And here's the pitch to the near side, turning the corner. Again, here's Jackson, Gabriel Jackson. They got Jackson and Johnson and Kevius Johnson. I'll tell you, they got the Jackson boys going. And I'll tell you, they're all playing very well today.
Yeah, they got them all. Now, I want you to watch this guy. He takes a poor angle. Theron Thomas goes inside of the block. When he goes inside, he misses one of the Johnson boys on the outside. A poor angle there. Make him come back inside to where the rest of your defense is. By him taking that inside-out angle, costs his team a crucial first down.
There's the yards for Wofford today, rushing over 300 yards in this particular ball game. We talked about how Wofford started the season. They lost their season opener to Air Force Academy 49-0. Didn't reel off. (17-10) is our score. The time remaining here in the fourth quarter, and Wofford with the great drive going here. They started at their own 14-yard line, coming up with the 15th play of the drive, and they started at their own 14. They're down to the A&T 11.
Yeah, they're killing two birds with one stone, eating up time off the clock and eating up that momentum that A&T started to build.
Zolman has been the man today for the Wofford Terriers. And again, they keep the ball on the ground with Mr. Jackson. The South Carolina State Bulldogs, remember, that's Johnson this time. That was Aaron Johnson, but we were talking about Gabriel Jackson. You know, the Bulldogs remember him because he had 2 touchdowns against them. Kevin Johnson will be remembered by Georgia Southern because he scored 3 touchdowns against them. So everybody gives you something to remember him by. It is 2nd down and 9. Here's a pitch this side. That's Kevius Johnson. And Johnson is brought out of bounds at the 4-yard line. On the near side, Kevius Johnson on the carry.
Yeah, that was a much better job by Theron Thomas of playing the sweep. Take a look here. You see him here. Same type of play. Ball's coming to him the outside, but he forces the running back to go inside of him. Keep that outside position. Allow the rest of the Aggie defenders to swarm to the football. That's how you play. What happens when you cut back inside? Listen. Don't cut back against the grain. Want some headaches up in there.
Sounds of the game. 3rd down and 2. They can still get a first down without scoring. Zolman has been the man at quarterback. And he has it, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown. Zolman with another rushing touchdown for him for the day. That is his second.
That's been the trouble. They have not figured out a way to stop Jeff Zolman. He's calling his own number here. Going to do the fake, but he's going to pull it out of there. Who's going to tackle the quarterback? Rule number one, the option. Stop the quarterback. Make him pitch the football. Nobody from the Aggies was able to make him do that.
With 9:02 remaining in the fourth quarter. Remember, I believe this drive started in the third quarter, and it is extended into the fourth quarter, and they take it all the way down the field. 85 yards, used off 6 minutes and 47 seconds off the clock, and 17 plays. And here for the point after, the kick is up, and it is good. And they extend their lead on Nick Robinson's PAT to 24-10.
Hi. Can I help you?
We're looking for something real.
I know what you mean. Take a look.
Honey.
This one looks nice.
And it's trail rated. Really trail rated.
If it's not trail rated, it's not a Jeep 4x4.
Accidents can happen anytime. That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Customer satisfaction is at an all-time high. I don't think we've ever had numbers this high. I mean, this guy has really worked his tail off.
His tail.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Let's get some runs now. Get him, slugger.
Hey, I know that guy. That's Miles. He can't bat for you. He works for Office Depot.
Oh, he absolutely works for us. Office Depot set up our entire office. Computers, desks, chairs, right down to the chair mats. Technically, yeah, he works for Office Depot, but they're a huge part of our company. Do a lot more than Hanson.
And he's got a bat for us, too.
No way, why?
Where do you think we got our computers?
Office Depot. Everything your business needs to win at everyday low prices.
We go good chip. Brad, center. We'll take, what we're going to do is let you just reach on the nose guard.
I was just listening to Coach Ayers talk to his team there. They're up 24-10. Don't forget NBC Network, your destination for live coverage of Black College basketball. Catch all the games beginning Saturday, January 10th, right here on NBC. Catch the games. This game is being controlled by Wofford right now, 24-10. Zolman with a pair of touchdown runs today. He's well over 100 yards rushing, 141 to be exact. His biggest day of the year.
It showed great leadership, and that was what you call a championship drive that Wofford just had.
On the 4-yard line. Bud Phillips brings it out to the 30. And now Bud Phillips is over there getting in somebody's face. He's on the wrong sideline to be getting in somebody's face.
Yeah, let's take a look here at how they managed to get these guys open. You're going to see misdirection going this way. Everybody sliding this way. What does that do? That puts a defensive end in the bubble. He doesn't know which key to read. He's in the hole, but the moment he goes in there too far, he's giving it away. The misdirection led him to his left. They brought it back on the right side. That's misdirection. Everybody has to sell it from the center to the guard to the tackle. Everybody going right, run the ball back left. That's what we mean when we say misdirection, brought to you wing-bone style by the Terriers.
It certainly is. Great example. Textbook style. Now we have trips receivers out to the left. Let's see if there's... The Aggies want to go upstairs. They're not going to get away from it. There's a sack.
You know, when you got teams that like to control the time of possession and run the football, well, if you get them down by 14 with 8 minutes to go, they get that sense of urgency, and you force them to do something they don't want to do. And what North Carolina A&T doesn't want to do is call 5-step drops all day long with Rico Watkins. They'd rather ball control you. So now, Wofford's got the Aggies right where they want them, doing something they don't feel comfortable doing.
Wofford came in with 24 sacks. They were tied for second in the Southern Conference in sacks with Appalachian State. Right now, they come up with a big loss of 5 yards against the Aggies. He's been sacked for the 16th time this year. Rico Watkins, we saw the trip receivers out there, but he's got to get the ball. We talked to the quarterbacks yesterday, Jay. So they don't have to get it in big chunks. Just get 8-10 yards. That's all you need. Maintains his balance. Now is in trouble, and they're going to call him down. And he just did a stupid thing, throwing the ball away. I mean, I hate to talk about the young man, but that was not the smartest thing to do at that particular juncture.
Knowing when you're such a good athlete, you think you can make everybody miss. The blitz is going to come this way. He does a good job of sidestepping him. Once you stumble, get up and get rid of the football. Don't pump fake that ball. Throw the ball out of bounds.
Watch what he does
here.
He
gets the ball here and he realizes he's going down. And then he wants to throw the ball out of bounds. You had an opportunity to get rid of that football.
Hope that the officials said you were down, because it could have been picked up by somebody and running for 6.
Yeah, they could have called intentional grounding, anything like that. So, realize when to get rid of the football.
3rd and 30. Get out of the end zone, son. Get out of bounds.
When you got a design rollout like that, he did a good job of at least not stopping in the end zone, and they're going to get a flag there as A&T. No, they're going to call down A&T. The lineman went up and said something to him. Kareem Sanders, I believe. But as you see him get out of bounds, once you get out of bounds, now look upfield for somebody to throw the ball to, and he decides to run in. That's questionable there, but in this type of game, they're not going to call it. And what you don't want to do is see the Aggies crumble. And when that play was over, one of the offensive linemen went over to the referee and said something like, "You got to call that foul." It's Kareem Sanders there that went over to the referee and said something. In the playoff, these referees, they've got short tempers. They're not going to take a lot of mouth.
Why would you say they have short tempers?
Well, Charlie, you're a referee. They got short tempers.
Why would you have a short temper in the playoffs?
We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, on the offense, half the distance to the goal, 4th down.
This has been a relatively penalty-free game, so how would you say they have a short temper in the playoffs?
Because the guy said one thing to him.
But you're not supposed
I don't know what he said. I don't know what was said.
That's not a short temper.
But hey, realize that he's caught up in the heat of battle too, and don't call that.
Well, that's not a short temper. Punting from the back of his end zone. Yannick Matthews, low snap, gets it off. Best kick of the day. Drives Wood all the way back across midfield. Shield Wood, and he'll be down at the 48-yard line. 24-10. With 6:54 to go, time ticking away from the Aggies, and their season is an opportunity to advance as Wofford has the 14-point advantage. In NBC Network News, the urban voice for news and information that impacts African-American communities. Gordon Grimm, Val Bracey reports the facts and present comprehensive analysis. Comes your way weeknights at 7 and 11 p.m. Eastern right here on NBC. Charlie Neal, Jay Walker, along with Rob Jones in Spartanburg, South Carolina, on the campus of Wofford College, where they lead the Aggies 24-10. And Trey Rogers is now in at quarterback. Zolman has had his say today, led them to a 24-10 lead, and now the pitch goes to the right side. And here's Kevius Johnson, and Johnson is inside the 20, all the way down to the 18, and the late flag may be face mask.
Yeah, what you saw all day, they've been running at the angles, and that was a chance where they took advantage of it. Johnson hit the hole early, trying to redeem himself from that fumble, and that's what you like about a freshman. He's so naive, he doesn't realize how costly that fumble might have been. He forgot all about it, put it behind him, and kept running hard. And watch him hit the angle here and turn on the Jets. And he's a little burner there, but you got to give him a good job. A lot of credit goes to the defensive back, Ed Ravenel, the safety, of not getting outrun, not giving up his angle of pursuit.
But you saw what happened as he got down there, was getting tackled. He shifted into another gear. And he picked up, he just went over 100 yards in that run. 105 for Mr. Kevius Johnson, Southern Conference Freshman of the Year. And straight ahead, they keep the ball on the ground. And this time it's J.R. McNair, who's been, it's kind of interesting because Kevius Johnson came in, not like I said, they didn't know whether he was going to play right away, a freshman, and they had him playing behind McNair. McNair got hurt, so they put him in. When McNair got healthy, they said, hey, look, we got a two-headed monster here. We got to put both of these guys in here. You're not going to play behind McNair anymore. You're going to play with him. So they can put both of them in the backfield together.
Well, McNair was a senior. You can do that with a senior that's always caring about the team effort, and he took one for the team and gave up some of his carries to the freshman.
Certainly did, and he has the pitch now, goes off to the right side, and in for 6 points is Corey Dunn. His second rushing touchdown this year. Corey Dunn out of Lexington, Kentucky's Dunbar High.
What happens is they just attack, and they attack, and they attack, and they wait for you to make one mental mistake, and the moment you blow one of your assignments, they make you pay. And A&T blew an assignment on the outside divider of the field, and the Terriers put it in the end zone.
Corey Dunn from 8 yards out. And here again, Robinson for the point after, Nick Robinson. He's been perfect so far today. And he makes it a 31-10 lead. 3 plays, 48 yards. They use a minute off the clock.
Hi. Can I help you? We're looking for something real. I know what you mean. Take a look.
Honey.
This one looks nice.
And it's trail rated. Really trail rated.
If it's not trail rated, it's not a G4x4.
Geico Excellence means serving our customers 24 hours a day. I'm talking 24/7, no sleep. Hey Louise, make me a pot of coffee, because I'm here to serve the customers. That's as if you were at an all-night diner. That's what you'd say.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We're going up. If Geico were a food group, we would be the vegetables, not the meat.
Let's get some runs now. Get him, Slugger.
Hey, I know that guy. That's Miles. He can't bat for you. He works for Office Depot.
Oh, he absolutely works for us. Office Depot set up our entire office. Computers, desks, chairs, right down to the chair mats. Technically, yeah, he works for Office Depot, but they're a huge part of our company. Do a lot more than Hanson.
And he's got a bat for us, too.
No way, why?
Where do you think we got our computers?
Office Depot. Everything your business needs to win at everyday low prices.
Today's game has been brought to you by Office Depot. What you need to know. Here in the fourth quarter with 5:54 to go, 4 possessions for Wofford in the second half. Everyone has resulted in a score. The only problem they had was when they fumbled the ball and led to a field goal by A&T, but it's been all Wofford in the second half after they led at the half by a score of 10-0.
Yeah, I mean, very impressive performance. And these Terriers, they just believe in themselves, and they just keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting.
From the 4-yard line, Phillips brings it across the 25 to the 28-yard line. Let's revisit the keys to this game by Geico.
Yeah, for Wofford, play at a high level where they did. They came out here, they answered the call, driving the ball every time they had to. They get a plus there. Secure the football. One turnover, hey, they rebounded. They won the turnover ratio and played great defense, giving up 10 points to an A&T offense that can score some points. Geico keys to victory for Wofford College. 3 for 3. Geico, the sensible alternative.
Coach Small is staying with Rico Watkins. We saw Marshall Glenn come in briefly in the first half to spell Watkins, but now Watkins is staying in, working from the shotgun. And do we have movement on the offense? We don't know, but there's a penalty flag in what has been a relatively penalty-free game. Only 5 penalties up to this point between the two teams. Only 1 against Wofford. There were 4 against the Aggies. This one goes against Wofford.
Dead ball, offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And the officials have done a good job of letting them play. And we take a look at the update. Florida Atlantic increasing their lead over Bethune-Cookman to 20-10 in the fourth quarter.
You understand that Alan Suber went out with a bruised sternum and will not be back. So that's not good news for the Wildcats of Bethune. First down and 5 for the Aggies after the penalty. Watkins stands in there, throws, has it complete. First down at the 35-yard line. All the way upfield to Perry. Perry's a little slow getting up.
Yeah, Perry went out and laid out, and he gave 100% effort there. He was a little bit exposed and just looked like he got the wind knocked out of him. It was a good hit there by the safety for Wofford. As you take a look at Watkins here, this is the type of throw they want to see him make. Take your rhythm, 1,001, 1,002, get rid of the football, and he throws a strike right down the middle. The bobble forced Perry to take his eyes off of the defensive back. But good job of holding on to the football.
37 yards on the catch by Perry. First down and 10. Throws incomplete. Intended for Brad Hinton. Let's go down to Rob Jones.
Hey, Wofford is in total control of this game. In particular, the play of their punter, Jimmy Minor, 9th in the country. He's 9th in the country in Division I 2A as a punter, and his dad makes every trip. Well, he's only missed 2 games this year. From Binghamton, New York. His dad's name is Jay Minor. 759 miles you've traveled to come to this game today.
Yeah, well, it's worth it. Want to see him play.
You've been doing this all season long, logging a lot of miles on the car. How many miles do you think you've logged this year?
Probably 16,000 this year.
This year you've gone to every game, or how many have you missed?
Missed 2. Catawba and the Citadel.
But you're going to follow the team as far as they go in the playoffs.
I will. I'll be following the rest of the games.
All right, thanks a lot. Jay Minor, a dedicated dad, following his son Jimmy throughout these playoffs.
Yeah, he said that the only thing he regretted is they took VMI off the schedule. That was sort of surprising. On third down. Screen pass on the far side. Has it complete to Hollingsworth, who has the first down. And of course, Wofford win today. They get a chance to host again next week. They will be back here at home. And just looking at the bracket, just checking to see who they might take on. They would play next week the winner of the Western Kentucky-Jacksonville State game. So that's who they would host next week here at Gibbs Stadium. First and 10. A&T. Pass out the flat. And that is Brandon Trusty on the reception.
Yeah, one of the things about playing Wofford in the playoffs would be, this is a team that forgot how to lose. I mean, that Air Force game was so long ago. They think week in and week out you're going to forget how to lose. And I kind of know about that when we went 11-0. That team we had really forgot how to lose. And that's a good feeling because you think that no matter what the score could be, you're going to find a way to win the football game.
Rico Watkins running out of bounds. One of the things, we'll come back to that thought after. Go ahead and do your long distance play again.
Long distance play of the game. Because you could have picked from a bunch of them, but it had to be Jeff Zolman, the quarterback, calling his own number, running up the middle, getting a 44-yard scamper to break the ice on a 0-0 football game. It was a real close game up until then, but that's our long distance play of the game. The most award-winning 4x4s in the world, brought to you by Jeep.
first down. The ball at the 12-yard line for the Aggies. 12-yard line of Wofford. High snap. Watkins throws, has it completed at the 3-yard line. And it's a first down. Let's see where they mark it. That was a first down play. See if they give the forward progress, and that was on the receiving end, Phillips. And good defensive play by Matt Nelson to come up to make sure he didn't get in the end zone.
And this is why coaches want to hurry up and get the game over with. If you're the coach of Wofford, A&T spreading you out. They've had relatively good success at spreading out throwing the football. So next week in the playoffs, you'll probably see a lot more of this formation with the 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers and the quarterback in the shotgun. And then if you're A&T, of course, you could always say that we should have gone with this early.
Right, second down and 1. And it's Hollingsworth. You know, back in spring training, of course, one of the things when George Small comes in and you have a new coach coming into a situation with veteran players, you always have to try to convince them that your way is going to be the right way and this is what you want to work. One of the things that George Small and his staff did to create some unity and family type of atmosphere among this Aggie team was he took all their cars away and made them walk to practice each and every day. He locked their cars up so they couldn't get them. And, you know, they're measuring for the first down. Coach, you know, and one of the things that you look at Curtis DeLoach, he said, Coach told me, you know, I could win the MEAC championship my senior year and get a ring. He says, I believed him, but I had my doubts.
He said, I wanted to be realistic about the whole deal. But, you know, and they won some great football games. I mean, they won the MEAC in style, except for the game in South Carolina State, which was last week. I mean, they took on all comers.
They certainly did.
They beat Bethune-Cookman when Bethune was rated always higher than them.
Yeah, they had an 8-game streak going there.
And they beat Hampton when it counted, so it was all on the line. They found a way to capitalize.
Third down and 1 for the Aggies. Scriven. Somebody moved, I believe the right guard, 62. Gates moved prematurely.
And what you got to say about the Aggies is kind of, you know, regardless of what happens here, and you hate hearing that cliche in sports, but regardless of what happens, they've represented their conference well.
Watch the right guard, 62, Gates.
Yeah, take a look there. He just got moving there in a little initial snap, and offensive lineman, you can't move
and then you hear the quarterback, yeah, what are you doing? I mean, we had 3rd and inches.
Yeah,
3rd and 5.
Don't come apart. Support each other. Support each other now.
Changes the whole scheme of things. Plenty of time for Watkins. He stands in there, throws, and it's incomplete. Should have been intercepted in the end zone. And there's a man who's a little frustrated with himself, Steele, who didn't pick it off. Brian Steele, who had his only one career interception for him. He's a senior out of York, South Carolina. Here's 4th down. What do you do?
Like I said, I'm a big fan of spreading it out. If you spread it out, you kind of tell Watkins that, you know, just find a running lane. If you find a running lane, take off and run because you can still get a first down.
Without scoring.
Without scoring. Right. So I like spreading them out. That's too compact. Down here, this is too compact in the red zone, I believe. Spread it out for the young man.
Little fade, and it's incomplete. Chris Perry, Kenny Perry rather, on the receiving end, or trying to be the receiver on that. They turn it over on downs as they get all the way down to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, low percentage pass there. The fade is always low percentage. You get athletes, you make big plays. But let's take a look at the Geico keys to victory for North Carolina A&T. Well, they were -1 in the turnover takeaway department, so they get a minus there. Fundamentals, hey, 4 penalties. They played discipline. They had a couple costly ones, but we'll give them a plus there. 4 penalties in the football game won't get you beat there. And then y'all total focus, well, they gave up 369 yards. You can't do that. All that 369 yards, that all came running via the run. So they get 1 out of 3 for the Geico keys to victory, the sensible alternative.
And they keep the ball on the ground still, trying to run out the clock now. You know, we talked about the Zolman-Rogers two-headed monster at quarterback for Wofford College. And, you know, somebody asked the quarterbacks, you know, how do you feel about that, sharing the load? They said, we're very fine with that. I mean, we understand there's nothing particular that makes this coach make a change. Zolman has played well, and he's out.
Yeah.
Zolman played well in the first half. He's out. You know, they share the load. You look at their stats, they're pretty evenly matched. Time of possession, time that they're in the ball game, all that. They do that, you know, almost equal time.
Yeah. The coaches deserve a lot of credit for that because they stick to it. They tell you, hey, the first half of the game, you'll get 2 series. Next year, I'll get 2 series. Right. The only time you have a problem is when you start backing off of what you're saying they're going to do. Let's take a look at our Jeep drive of the game. And what you're going to get here was a lot of Zolman. The quarterback is the player of the game, the MVP Zolman. Got it going with a 44-yard scamper up the middle. And then he called his own number here. And this was just a key drive that started off the second half to give them a 17-0 lead, which A&T fought back from. Jeep, the most awarding 4x4s in the world.
You know, when you look at the Southern Conference team and you look at the Wofford team, when you look at the Southern Conference stats, nobody really stands out in any statistical category on this team. It's a total team effort. And they spread the wealth. We talked about running backs and the quarterbacks all sharing in that 300-plus yards rushing throughout the season, you know, and then you look at other statistics even on the defensive side. Then you look at Deutsch, Eric Deutsch, the right guard. You know, he won the Offensive Lineman of the Year award. You know, these are not things you hear a lot of teams and players being talked about when you look at this Wofford team, but he's done a great job this year.
Yeah, he has. You know, you talk about the statistics. Here's a stat for you. With Wofford, they look so much alike that I looked at their backup players, and even their backup players, there's only a 5-pound difference between them. So they bring one quarterback in, and he may be 180, and the next guy comes in at 185. I mean, that's a scheme team right there. I mean, they want all their players to look alike, dress alike, and think alike. And you got a couple exceptions. Deutsch is over 300 pounds, but all the linemen and their backup all the way within 5 pounds of each other. The Southern Conference, you know, this is a conference that's rich in tradition with the Georgia Southern, Appalachian State, Furman, the Citadel. You know, they're going to be losing East Tennessee State, and they hate to see that go. We talked to their conference commissioner earlier in the day, and they hate to see that go, but his thoughts on that was, you know, if you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. They've got a tradition of excellence, and more importantly, they expect to win championships and playoff games.
You know what a lot of people don't remember or may not remember was that teams like Alabama, Florida, Georgia, LSU, Mississippi, Tennessee were all members of the Southern Conference at one time, and then they went out and became the Southeast Conference.
And so was Marshall. Yeah, Marshall was member of the Southern Conference as well, so this is a rich football tradition in terms of the football playing in the Southern Conference.
Here's Minor punting to Deloach, who makes the fair catch.
And then we talked about Jay Richardson. You know who else is a famous alum of Wofford? Forgot about Fisher DeBerry.
Yeah.
Fisher DeBerry, head coach out of the Air Force.
Right.
Basically runs the same type of offense out there. And he did a good job of giving back and allowing the two teams to play each other. And I'm sure Coach Ayers is saying, well, you didn't have to give me my first loss. I could have
49-0
campaign. What happened to the alumni love here?
In fact, they played in they lost to Florida back in one of those cigar bowls some years back in the 30s or something like that.
They were upset.
Yeah, they were by Florida.
Florida State.
That's interference.
Yeah. That's what played there. The ball hung in the air so long that the wide receiver got in good position like a box out in basketball. And the DB realized he got boxed out, so he came around him and did the pass interference. Look, he's in great position, and he jumps over and underneath him, and they're going to call the flag there. That's a good individual effort there by the North Carolina A&T wide receiver.
That's Bud Phillips.
Yeah, Bud Phillips did a good job, and when that ball hung, he positioned himself like he was going up for a rebound.
15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Grambling, I understand, leading at halftime, 17-16 over Southern in the Bayou Classic down in New Orleans, Louisiana, with the winner advancing to the SWAC Championship, which will be here on NBC in a couple of weeks, December 13th.
Looks like the gumbo factory starting to come back on the crawfish boys. You know, Grambling, those are the crawfish boys, and Southern is a gumbo factory.
Down under 2 minutes to go. Watkins pitches off to one of the linemen. Well, we saw a linebacker run a touchdown back.
That's not a flag?
Because he was behind the line of scrimmage.
No, it was a backward pass.
Right.
Yeah, he
wasn't a pass.
It was a pitch, exactly right.
Well, there's no such thing as a backward pass.
I've seen some crazy stuff in football before. I've seen it. As you've seen it in football, if it can happen, I've really seen it. I've learned some things this year that I didn't think could happen.
There's big Dexter Stroman. Dexter now, he's got his name in the record books. He's carrying the ball in the NCAA championship matchup. He's a freshman from Bennettsville, South Carolina. Probably will never touch the ball again the rest of his career. That was incomplete. Brad Hinton, the intended receiver there, as we're down to about 37 seconds to go in this ball game. Well, it's been a great year for George Small, who was voted the MEAC Coach of the Year. We want to say congratulations And I know he didn't want it to end here. He wanted to continue going, but who would have thunk it coming into the season that a team that did and played as lethargically as they did a year ago would have won the MEAC championship. And of course, Mike Ayers, you can't say enough about the program and what he's done here at Wofford.
Yeah, both these teams are outstandingly coached. I mean, great coach. I mean, Watkins here, took that ball away, son. Y'all took away, but and they coach by different styles. You talk about Mike Ayers, he's that disciplinarian. He kind of puts that fear in. You look at Jeff Bowman, our Office Depot offensive player of the game. He played a great game. He was the best football player on the field at the time.
41 yards and 2 touchdowns.
A&T never found an answer for him, and that's why A&T, unfortunately, is going home today. And the Terriers are going forward in the playoffs. We wish them luck. Hope that they can bring a championship here to Wofford. We know the city of Spartanburg will be behind them 100%.
Well, there's no question about it, because here's a team that's never been in the 1AA playoffs. Has only been in Division 1AA 9 years. Has only been in the Southern Conference 7 years. So, that's saying a lot for the short period of time. Of course, 16 years Mike Ayers has been on this campus as their head coach. And, there's Kenny Perry.
He made some great catches.
Yes, he did. He played the game for the Aggies.
Held on to the ball when they needed a big play. He was their go-to guy there.
So Wofford advances to play the winner of the Western Kentucky-Jacksonville State game. Of course, Western Kentucky is out of the Gateway Conference, one of the 4 teams that was put into the tournament from the Gateway Conference, while Jacksonville State was the winner of the Ohio Valley Conference. And so they will be right here next week. That is Wofford to try to continue with their season. They opened the season with a loss to Air Force, won 10 straight. Now with this win, they won 11 straight ball games.
And so the quest goes on. That team from 1978 Florida A&M can rest again. It seems as if the third group loses, that they will still be the last team to have won a 1AA national championship. So it's going to happen. Sooner or later, the black colleges are getting a lot closer and they're getting more competitive. And until they figure out something with that SWAC to allow the number 1 team from the SWAC to participate, because I really do think that a team like Grambling would have given Wofford fits, as well as some of the other teams out there.
Now let's go down to Rob Jones.
Coach, congratulations on the win. You guys found something at halftime up front.
Right. There were some things that we felt like we could go to, and we just hadn't been as sharp as we needed to be. We hurt ourselves with penalties. We just told our guys, just come out. We got some things that we can do, just execute. I felt like both of our quarterbacks did a fabulous job up front, offensive line-wise. We created some seams, had something going early, put the ball on the ground. We had a gaping hole, and we put the ball on the ground. And these guys they're a heck of a defense. They're very opportunistic, and they got on it. But I think overall we did what we had to do to win the game. They're an excellent football team, and we're very fortunate and very blessed to be able to come out of this thing with a win.
You mentioned your 2 quarterbacks. Zolman had an incredible game.
Yeah. Jeff did an excellent job running the option, and what happened, they gave us certain looks. I thought Coach Lang did a great job of coming out of the box, us adjusting at halftime, Coach Nash getting the offensive line ready, Coach Lackey with the receivers. Those guys are big, strong, and physical, and those guys can play. And we had to do everything we could do to try to win the game. We knew going in that we had played a playoff schedule already, so our kids were kind of battle tested. I think initially maybe a little jitter here and there, but we settled down in the second half and did what we were supposed to do.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way. Back to you, Charlie.
All right, well, you're talking about playing the playoff game already. Georgia Southern along with Appalachian State and Furman. As you look at Zolman here with 44 of his 141 yards. He had 2 rushing touchdowns today. And here he is on that second 44-yard gallop. This came in the second half. And Mr. Zolman, our player of the game, young man out of Dayton, Ohio, came in here from Chaminade Junior College.
When it was all on the line, he found a way to get it done. And that's why it's so important to have a quarterback with leadership ability that knows how to win football games. And we take a look at the final stats for the game, and the first downs look about equal, but the total offense, 375 to 260, and the time possession, A&T won that battle. Turnovers were costly, but they still never found a way to stop Jeff Zolman, the quarterback. And anytime you let a team rush for 375 yards, they came in here averaging, Wofford did averaging 255, and you give them 375.
What made it even worse is the Aggies had only given up an average of 97 yards rushing a game, and they give up 375 today. And that made the difference. And you talk about these players and how they seem to get along. You know, you look at the rosters, 4 players on the Aggie squad from the state of South Carolina, 14 players on Wofford's team from the state of North Carolina.
Yes, you got the borderline wars there. You know, overall, let's not forget, North and South Carolina and the Carolinas, they play a great brand of football down here, and you got to recruit in each other's backyard. And unfortunately about the playoffs, somebody goes home and somebody gets to keep going on, but the cupboard is full for both these programs. They're both young, and I would be surprised if we didn't see both these teams in the future in the playoffs.
Well, George Small, congratulations on a great year. He was the coach of the year in the Mason Athletic Conference. 31-10, the final score here from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Don't forget to join us in 2 weeks, December 13th, for the Jeep SWAC Championship. Sports Desk comes your way at 1:30. And then the SWAC Championship, Alabama State against the winner of the Grambling Southern game. That's next. For Jay Walker, Rob Jones, Charlie Neal saying so long from Spartanburg, South Carolina, where Wofford beat A&T 31-10.
This has been an NBC Sports presentation.